Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatide Sadarine. Namo Mahabadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vanchakalpa taruvasya kripa sindhu eva cha paditanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripa tamaham bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram. Okay, Hare Krishna. Oh, so many devotees have joined, but then there was some initial problems in joining. Okay. I hope other devotees didn't face difficulty. My voice is clear?
Yes, Prabhu, clear voice.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Yes, so thank you so much for joining for today's class. We were discussing about, anyone remembers what we were discussing? I don't remember. I take so many classes, sometimes it becomes difficult to understand what I am speaking in which class. Yeah, yes, Udit Prabhu is going to speak. Oh, he's speaking? Please switch. Yeah, who is speaking? Who spoke it? Where are you? Oh,
Just coming.
Oh, you are coming to Gosala. You are supposed to come at 4:30 in the morning. Okay. Okay, no problem. Please come, please come. So, Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari and Uttama Adhikari. Yeah. So, we were discussing about that elaborately. Kanishta is Kanishta. He deals with Krishna nicely, but he thinks that devotional service is dealing with Krishna. But Madhyama is devotional service, is not just dealing with Krishna and his devotees. That's what we were reading, that Srila Prabhupada's lecture. Yeah, you remember? Yeah, we were reading Srila Prabhupada's lecture. Yeah, anything else we discussed?
Yes, so then we discussed about Mahatma, all the different categories.
Yeah. We discussed about Mahattara, Mahattama, Ati Mahattama, and Asadhu, Asadhutara, Asadhutama, and Ati Asadhutama. And Sati says that, oh Daksha, you are Ati Asadhutama. There is no fault in Lord Shiva, and still you are finding faults, right? And another thing, even if there is a small fault, the Ati Sadhutama person will magnify that fault. That Lord Shiva, Lord Sati was telling about Daksha. Yeah. So this is, anything else? Anyone remembers last point? Anything, any last point which anyone?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat. Where are you?
Prabhuji,
Who are
how
you?
to
Yeah, Monali
how
Sharma.
to deal with other people? Krishna, प्रेम, मैत्री, कृपा एंड उपेक्षा, ये चार भाव बोला गया था भगवान के साथ प्रेम भाव से आदान प्रदान, एंड जो इक्वल है भक्ति में उनके साथ मैत्री भाव से आदान प्रदान, एंड जो हमसे थोड़ा जूनियर है भक्ति में उनके साथ कृपा के साथ, इनोसेंट जो है उनके साथ कृपा के साथ भाव के आदान प्रदान, एंड जो एथीस्ट है उनकी उपेक्षा करना है, ऐसा इंस्ट्रक्शन।
Yeah, we were discussing about prema, maitri, kripa, upeksha. 4 types of ways in which we deal with devotees or madhyam adhikari deals. Yeah, that's what we were discussing. Yeah, correct. So today we will take some verses which are very, very important. So we can discuss further about anarthas and how we commit offenses and what all happens and how to avoid offenses. So this is what today we are going to see. Okay, let me share. Yeah. So this is, I hope you are able to see it. Shall I increase the font? Yeah. So this is, we are reading from 10th canto, 4th chapter, 46 number sloka. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So this is, the context of this verse is that Kamsa is doing atrocities to Vasudeva and Devaki, and Sukadeva Goswami is speaking about this verse, what is going to happen to Kamsa. He is giving a future prediction, what is going to happen to Kamsa. Ayu Shriyam Yasodharmam
आयुष्रियं यशोधर्मं
Lokan Asisa Evacha
लोकान् आशीष एव च
Hanti Shreyamsi Sarvani
हन्ति श्रेयांसि सर्वाणि
Pumsho Mahadatikramaha
पुंसो महत् अतिक्रमः
Ayushriyam Yasodharmam
आयुश्रियं यशोधर्मं
Lokanasisa Evacha
लोकानाशीष एव च
Hanti Shreyamsi Sarvani
हन्ति श्रेयांसि सर्वाणि
Pumsho Mahadatikrama.
पुंसो महत् अतिक्रमः.
Yeah. Translation and purport by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. My dear king, when a man persecutes great souls, all his benedictions of longevity, beauty, fame, religion, blessings, and promotion to higher planets will all be destroyed. So, Srila Prabhupada doesn't give any purport because the translation itself is self-explanatory. So, Ayu, the duration of life. So, this tells about what all things we will lose by committing offenses. Ayu, we will lose our lifespan. Can anyone say who lost lifespan because of who became who lost lifespan? Can anyone say? Yeah. Duryodhan and Dusashan. They were in prime of their youth, but Sukadeva Goswami says, Kshata Ayushaha. Draupadi Kacha Sprishta Kshata Ayushaha. As soon as Duryodhan and Dusasan touched the hairs of Draupadi to trouble her, so at that time only their Ayusha got reduced. Yes. And Shriyam, beauty, one who became very ugly. Yeah. Anyone who became very ugly because of offense? No one? Not able to guess?
Kubja, Guruji?
No, Kubja. One who became ugly because of offense or because of offense to any supreme lord or devotees or anything. Mahat.
Nal Kuber Madigiri.
Nal Kuber Manigriv. They didn't become, we can say that tree's body is not a beautiful body.
Ahilya?
Ahalya is the right example. Ahalya nahi, Indra became. Indra offended. Actually, Indra did so much of offense to. He did whatever he did with Ahalya, but he actually did offense to Gautam Muni. And because of the offense to Gautam Muni, so Indra actually got so much of eyes on the bodies, Gautam Muni cursed, and his body became very, it's not that beautiful. So, so that is a nice example, that Indra and Ahalya's example. Yes, the next, what is there? Ayu, Shriyam, you have? Aswathama, very good. One Hari Bol for Bhisma Prabhu. He is telling the right answer. You remember? Aswathama? So, Aswathama is a very nice example. Aswathama had a money, and the money actually went away and became very, very less beautiful because of offense, and he killed the 5 sons of the Pandavas. Yes, so Aswathama is a very nice example. So, Ayu, Shriya, and then it says Yasho. Yes, someone who became very infamous, and people were talking about him. Yeah, anyone? Became very, very infamous. People were talking ill about him. अरे देखो क्या कर दिया, ऐसे कर दिया. And yeah. Kaikai is a very good example. Kaikai became so infamous. Whole Ayodhya was speaking about Kaikai, that when this Kaikai will die, and how this, just imagine, you're staying in a city where the entire city is finding faults in you. How much it will be a troublesome affair to stay in such a city. So Kaikai is a nice example. Giving yes, Kaikai lost yes. Even Daksha also, you will see, Daksha will become very infamous, and Daksha will also lose his beauty. Daksha will get a goat head, and Daksha will also lose fame. Yes. Anything else? Yes.
Sati is also an example.
Sati of example of what? Sati offended whom?
Of age. She lost her. She died.
This is about if someone offends, then what will happen? Age will reduce. Sati committed suicide herself, because that we will see later today. Okay, that's not the right example. Dharmam, one who became very adharmi, because anyone else was telling anything? Sorry? Ramchandra Puri, he lost all his fame. Yeah, correct. Ramchandra Puri lost all his fame, and he became very infamous. Yeah, correct. And dharmam, anyone who became very sinful, or who lost his dharma. Ajamil didn't offend anyone. He didn't offend anyone. Someone who offended, and he lost his dharma. We already discussed one example. I think you are not able to catch up.
God brother of Madhve, Ishwar Puri.
God brother of Ishwar Puri, Ramchandra Puri. He lost his dharma. That is there, but that is definitely there, Ramchandra Puri. But Vishwamitra, how he, what happened to him?
During the tapasya, he offended Vasishtha. That is why the story started like that.
Okay, he offended Vasishtha, and then this is example how he lost his dharma. Sauburi Muni, you remember we discussed one example of Sauburi Muni? He lost, he was a sannyasi sitting within the water doing some tapasyas. He was in the renounced order, and then he married 50 daughters of Mandada. Can you imagine? For a sannyasi going and doing all these things, at least one daughter is fine, but 60 daughters, 50 daughters he married. So he lost all his dharma. Now that's why the Bhagavatam entitles the fall down of Saubari Muni. Like that, it is entitled. The chapter is entitled like that. Yeah. So what next is Ayu Shriya Yaso Dharma Lokan, elevation to higher planets. Who could not get higher planet elevation or who could not go back, or anyone because of offense? Very simple example, very simple. Who lost all higher planetary system? Who lost higher planetary system? You know it. No. Who lost? Indra. We just completed the story in 6th canto that Indra offended Brihaspati, and then he lost all higher planets, everything the demons occupied. And Asisha, benediction. People don't receive benediction, only curse they receive. They all receive curse. Whoever does offense, Karna received curse. Karna was actually so famous. Data Karna, he received so much of curses. Ravan received so much of curses. So all people receive curses. So in this way, this verse explains that how by committing offenses, all these things we will lose. You see how many items are there, you see? Let's read now again. Ayu, number 1, Shriyam, 2, Yasho, 3, Dharmam, 4, Lokan, 5, and Asisa. So 6 things we will lose by committing offenses to great souls. We will lose our lifespan, we will lose our beauty, we will lose our fame, we will lose our religiosity, we will lose our elevation to higher planets and higher destinations, and we will lose all benedictions and we will only get curse. Hanti Shreyamsi Sarvani. And this is not the 6 things. Everything that is good in that life, the good in that person will go. Hanti matlab it will go away. Shreyamsi, all good. Sarvani, all good will go away from the life of the person. So that is why we have to be careful and ensure that we don't commit offenses to Vaishnavas. So Srila Prabhupada mentions in one of this purport of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, this Madhya Leela, I hope everyone is able to read. Srila Prabhupada picks up one verse from the Skanda Puran that is mentioned here. We will read that and we'll do some little bit of discussion on this. So these are, in this verse in Skanda Puran, it is mentioned about 6 ways we can, in which we commit Vaisnava-Aparadha. The 6 ways of committing Vaisnava-Aparadha. Okay. So all of you repeat this verse. The Hari purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Hari Bhakti Vilas cites the following quotation from Skanda Puran concerning the blasphemy of a Vaishnava. So, Hare Krishna, there is some sound. Hari Bol, please mute. Yeah. So, concerning blasphemy of a Vaishnava. Yohi Bhagavatam Lokam.
Yohi Bhagavatam Lokam.
Upahasam Rupottama.
Upahasam Ripottama.
Karoti Tasya Nashyanti.
Karoti Tasya Nashyanti.
Artha Dharma Yashah Sutta.
Artha Dharma Yashah Sutta.
Nindam Kurvanti Ye Mudha.
Nindam Kurvanti Ye Mudha.
Vaishnavanam Mahatmanam.
Vaishnavanam Mahatmanam.
Patanti Pitrubhi Shardham.
Patanti Pitrubhi Sharadam.
Maharourava Samyike.
Maharorava Samgite.
Hanti Nindanti Vaidveshti.
Anti Nindanti Vaidveshti
Vaishnavanam nabhibandati
Vaishnavan Nabhinandati
krudhyate yati no harsham
Prutyate Yati No Harsham
darshane patanani sat.
Darshane Patanani Sat.
So, we will read the translation. In a conversation between Markandeya and Bhagiratha, it is said, "My dear king, one who derides an exalted devotee loses the results of his pious activity, his opulence, his reputation, and his sons. Vaishnavas are all great souls. Whoever blasphemes them falls down to the hell known as Maharaurava, accompanied by his forefathers." Matlab, you will not go to hell, you will take all your forefathers, everyone to hell if you offend a Vaishnava. Just see how. Whoever, so this is now, this last verse we'll recite again. It explains about the 6 ways in which we can commit Vaishnava Aparadha. Hanti nindanti vaidveshti. Yeah, anyone?
Antinendanti Vaidveshti
Vaishnavan nabhinandati
Vaishnavan Nabhinandati
krudhyate yati no harsham
Krudyate Yati No Harsham
darshane patanani sat.
Darshane Patananishat.
So these are 6 ways, 6 ways of committing Vaishnava Aparadha. So whoever blasphemes, whoever kills a Vaishnava, blasphemes a Vaishnava, envious of a Vaishnava, angry with a Vaishnava, whoever doesn't offer obeisances to a Vaishnava or feel joy upon seeing him, certainly falls into a hellish condition of life. So these are the 6 things which we will do a little bit of discussion for next 5 minutes. So what is the first thing? Killing a Vaishnava, Hanti. This is like highest. Encounter, murder. Yes. Anyone who killed a Vaishnava, anyone who remembered someone killed a Vaishnava and landed into problem? Anyone
Indra
remember?
killing Vishwarup.
Sorry?
Indra killing Vishwarup.
Indra killing Vishwarup. Okay, Vishwarup was not a Vaishnava. Indra killing Vritrashur.
Yes.
Yeah, Indra killed Vritrashur and landed into problem. Vritrashur was a great Vaishnava. Yeah, Hanti. So we should never kill a Vaishnava or never even think that I will kill him. So never kill a Vaishnava. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone remembers? Yeah. Or cursing a Vaishnava to kill.
रावण killed वो जो पक्षी था.
Jatayu. Okay, Ravan killed Jatayu. Ravan did so many things. Durvasa to Ambarish Maharaj. Durvasa to Ambarish Maharaj is an example of another thing. Durvasa. He also attempted to kill, definitely. Shringi cursed Parikshit to die. You remember? So in the first canto, Shringi Rishi, son of Samik Rishi, he cursed Parikshit, you should die. And actually it is killing. Either you kill directly through sword or you curse someone to die. So, and then we see, because Shringi did that, all the Brahmanas got the reaction. And all the Brahmanas after Shringi in Kali Yuga lost all their Brahminical powers. Previously, Brahmanas would light fire not with matchstick. Actually, the yajna we are performing, by lighting the yajna fire through matchstick, it is not a yajna. Like, yes, all these devotees who have got married, Pavan Krishna Prabhu, Vihari Govind Prabhu, all of you had yajna? Yes. I think all those who have married had yajna. But that yajna is, so the pujari, he lighted yajna through matchstick or through mantra? Huh?
Matchstick.
Matchstick. Oh, Pavan Krishna Prabhu is taking matchstick. So that means that yajna is Kali Yuga yajna. Kali Yuga mein yajnas are lighted by matchstick, but in Other yugas, the Brahmanas, not just other yuga, 5000 years ago, Sringi's time only, the Brahmanas had so much power, they will just do like this and light a fire, light the yajnik fire. So the Brahmanas lost all powers because of Shringi, and now no one has any Brahminical power in Kali Yuga. So that is the example of Hanti. So the first one is never kill a Vaishnava, which is topmost, Tapkadiya, right? We say murder. And next you see Nindanti, never find faults or blaspheme a devotee. Don't find faults or blasphemy. So what all different types of ways we can find faults in a devotee? So scripture says that we are basically 4 categories of things we can find faults in a devotee. So it's a plus formula. So you do fault finding plus and you will be bhakti minus, KC minus. So you can remember plus. So P stands for previous or prior to coming to Krishna consciousness, the devotee was doing some sinful activities and you find fault, right? अरे बहुत तुम वैष्णव बन गया. I know what Vaishnav you have become, and 2 years before what all things leelas you are doing in the beer bar, what you are doing, we know actually. Now you have become a great Vaishnav, you are putting mala and you are holding a mala, putting tilak. We know what Vaishnav you have become. Yes. You know? So this is called trying to see the devotee not at the present moment his situation, or trying to see previously, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda when he blessed Jagai Madhai. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said ki actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he blessed Jagai Madhai, his body became black. And all devotees, they were looking, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was looking like Samsundar, Krishna. And they asked Lord Chaitanya, what is this black? What is this black in your body? Lord Chaitanya said, I have absorbed all the sins of Jagai Madhai, and that's why my body has become black. And then Lord Chaitanya said, but where these sins will go? I have absorbed them from Jagai Madhai. Where these sins will go? Can anyone say where these sins will go?
Yes, Prabhuji. Those who are now वो तो बुरा बोल रहे हैं ना किसी वैष्णव के लिए तो उनके ऊपर चला गया.
No. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, anyone who would later on consider Jagai Madhai as sinful and remember, oh, just a Jagai Madhai, kya, you know, theek hai. So all those people who offend Jagai Madhai, in their body these sins will go, and I have stored them and put it in car park. And slowly through little by little, I'll give to those Vaishnava offenders. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu proclaimed like this. So Jagai Madhai got delivered, and we should not think Jagai Madhai is now sinful. They are fully now. So similarly, some devotees, they come to Krishna consciousness, we should not see their past, previous conditionings and tell, oh, arre, now you have become great devotee, where you were 2 years before, you are eating fish, you are doing this, you know, theek hai, not that great. I am actually, from childhood I was a vegetarian, and you were taking non-veg till last moment, only last 2 years you have started taking vegetarian food. So you are not a great devotee. So one should understand, once a person becomes a devotee, one should not see the previous life, what he was doing. You are understanding? Whether he was taking non-veg, whether he was breaking all the 4 regulative principles, whatever he was doing, now he has become a devotee of Supreme Lord. We should respect him on his present status. Okay? So this is first thing, that is, we should not blaspheme a devotee based on the previous things. Or sometimes we may say, this person is behaving like this because he is from this previous uska aise tha, to that is why he is. So we should not blaspheme and find fault. So this is P. L stands for last stresses of conditionings. Like sometimes a person becomes devotee, but still he has some previous traits of how he used to behave. Sometimes some devotee may become, a person may become a devotee, but he used to become very short tempered or angry prior to coming to bhakti. So now also in devotee circle you will become angry. So it's dekho, just see, you know, he has become a devotee, still he is becoming angry. So we should try to overlook it, understand, yeah, these are all last stresses of, just like someone fell down in a gutter and he came and he started taking bath. Will you tell him, "Are chi 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 chi, so many kala black things are sticking in your body"? Are he is taking bath. You appreciate his taking bath. Don't find faults of the what is sticking on the body. You are able to understand this example? Everyone is able to understand this example. Imagine Sri Nityadas falls in a gutter. He was going, and then there is a new town gutter. He put his head on it and he fell down. Right? Imagine Sri Nityadas falling. And then he came running, started taking bath. And then someone comes, "Are chi 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 chi, you are so much of, what is this black that is sticking?" And say, "Oh, Prabhuji, please take bath nicely, please spend," and all these things are there. So instead of finding faults in all the black things, you tell him, encourage him to take bath, correct? So the next thing is that we should not find faults on some last traces of some conditionings that is there present in a Vaishnava. And U stands for unmeditated slip in bhakti. Sometimes a person may go to some other place, and he has taken kanthimala and he has nothing to eat somewhere, anywhere, and he finds a restaurant and he says, "Give me Jain food," and all, and they give him Jain food and he chants mantras and says to Krishna, "Begs forgiveness, I have nothing to eat now, I have to eat this, I have come." But somehow in the food there is a onion that is coming. Imagine. And then he eats, and then he leaves that food, that onion came out, and he comes and says to his friend, "Hey, Prabhuji, I went, actually I have taken kanthimala, but somehow I don't know how, I told them Jain food and that onion came, and immediately I threw up the food." And this Prabhuji, who heard, my goodness, he started doing British Broadcast Corporation. He started telling everyone, "Wow, this devotee has got fallen, and this person has eaten onion, and this and that. Just see now what he is going to do. He is going to go to hell, and this." So this person started broadcasting everywhere how this person has got hell. And so was this person ever meditating to take onion? Tell me. It was just a unmeditated and unplanned event. So we should never make an unmeditated, unplanned event as a fall down. It's just a sleep and nothing is going to happen. And we should not make a big facade out of this. So that is also a big offense we are doing to that devotee. We should be, he just came and said, "You Prabhuji, this happened." We should tell him, "No Prabhuji, no problem. You chant some extra rounds and forget that incident, and be more careful next time where you are eating food." That's it. So we should in this way understand that when there are some unmeditated slips in Krishna consciousness. Sometimes what happens, a person is, he actually chanted 14 rounds, and somehow he kept his bead bag, and then there were so many services, and he had his office and everything, and then he remembered actually he has to chant 2 rounds, and somehow when he came back he got so tired and he slept, and he could not chant his 2 more rounds, and he's initiated, and then he only could chant 14 rounds, and he tells another devotee, his friend, "Ki Prabhuji, this has happened, Prabhuji. I was like I chanted 14 rounds in the morning before going office, but office was so hectic and I got little fever in the office, and when evening I came and I slept actually. Even I didn't took dinner, Prabhuji. My goodness, you left chanting 16 rounds. You will go to hell, Prabhuji. My goodness. And this Prabhuji puts it in internet. This Sri Nitai Das has fallen down. He has taken a vow in front of his Guru and Krishna and everything to chant 16 rounds. And now just see, he has fallen away. Don't take any guidance from him. And he is now a fallen soul. He has no, he cannot give any mercy. He don't take guidance from him. Baapre, don't hear anything from Sri Nitai Das. Don't ever completely unsubscribe from the YouTube channel of Sri Nitai. So this is called fault finding. You are able to understand? So Bichara Sri Nitai Das just told, Kere Prabhuji, 14 rounds I could chant. Somehow I got fever and I slept. I didn't took dinner also. What happened? And this person puts it in internet, puts it in Facebook, puts it in Instagram and telling everyone, don't hear from Sri Nitai Das. He's got fallen soul now. So this is example of unmeditated slip in Krishna consciousness and trying to find faults and doing a broadcast out of it from the unmeditated slip, right? So this is, and last one is S, that is social background. अरे ये तो बिहारी वैष्णव है, ये तो this Vaishnav is what you say, Marwadi Vaishnav. So he is always calculated, that's why, of money, right? So this actually is a lady Vaishnav, and lady Vaishnav hai to problem hai actually, and he is a main Vaishnav. He is actually an African Vaishnav and is an American Vaishnav. So in this way we find faults based on the external body, a social background, nationality, color, or even voice. Oh, my Guru sings so well, so he's a great soul. Your Guru is not able to sing well, that's why he's not a great soul. So these are all social background, external things and all those things. So in this way, four ways we can commit faults, or we start finding faults. Previous to coming to Krishna consciousness, some things had happened. We try to find faults. Then last traces of certain conditionings are remaining, which are anyway getting cleaned. And then unmeditated fall down or slips and social background. So in this way we find faults in these four ways. Yeah. Anyone has any other ways one can say that how we can find faults? Anyone can invent some more what all, or you have seen people finding faults in that way? One more thing that is coming in my mind is comparing two Vaishnavas, which is also very, very dangerous. So like comparing like this, some Vaishnav may be having a particular mood, particular style of doing things, and another Vaishnav may be having a particular style of doing things, and comparing both of them is very, very dangerous. We should never compare two Vaishnavas and thinking on a very material platform, right? That can be also offensive. We compare, oh, this devotee, he has a particular style. Everyone has a particular style. Like you see, you attend different classes, so you will see different devotees will have a particular style, right? We have Amog Leela Prabhu, he has a particular style of doing things, right? We have Gaur Gopal Prabhu, he has a particular style of doing things. We have Radhe Shyam Prabhu, he has a particular, we have Gaurang Prabhu. Similarly, Gurus also, Radhanath Swami Maharaj, Jayabhadra Swami Maharaj, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, Loknath Swami Maharaj, everyone. Loknath Swami Maharaj will sit and start doing kirtan, and in between kirtan only he will give class, and while giving class he will do kirtan. You will not understand whether he is doing kirtan, whether he is doing class, or what he is doing, right? So, and then one who has attended class of Radhanath Maharaj, he will tell, Arey, he too gives class only, and there is a clear-cut distinction. What is class? What is kirtan? What is this? Huh? So this is offensive. of offending both Radhanath Swami Maharaj and offending both Loknath Maharaj, comparing to these two Vaishnavas, without relishing the wonderful association what both these Vaishnavas are giving, comparing these Vaishnavas on a material platform. So this is a very dangerous thing that we should not do, especially superiors we should never compare. Every superior you will see will have a particular style of doing things, and we should understand he is my superior, I am under him, under his shelter, and take guidance from him without offending other superiors who have a different style of doing things. So we should never compare between two devotees. This is another thing that we may find faults. Yeah, yes, there is one raise of hand. I don't know, there are so many people. Who is raising hand?
Bro, am I audible?
Yeah, fully.
Bro, one way that generally we offend Vaishnavas is many times devotees don't have some managerial skill or material skill. But they are properly spiritually situated. And then we offend them.
Yeah, it's a very powerful example. One sannyasi in ISKCON fell down because of this only. So both were in very good, nice devotees, but he was trying to find faults in another person who is not that managerially so good, and there was so much of spiritual difficulty in his life. So this is also the S, social background, or that external things. But Sandram is telling a nice point that sometimes some people may not have skills, material skills. So this is also that S, social skills and all those things, and we may find faults. अरे वो तो पढ़ा लिखा नहीं है, श्लोक उच्चारण करता ही नहीं है ठीक से, हाँ, उसको नहीं आता है श्लोक उच्चारण करना, क्या, what he is doing. So in that way we should not find faults. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone wants to add anything? Any way we find faults, right? All of you are never find faults. That's why you are not able to give any example. Because I gave so many examples because I always find faults. So that's why I could give so much of example. Yeah. Yeah, Poonam Mataji is...
Prabhuji, when we are doing some seva together, then this happens.
What happens?
That we find faults. This person is not doing like this. This seva should be done like this.
Yeah. So when we are doing seva together, a particular person will have a particular style of doing service, and we start comparing, why his person is not doing the seva like this? Why? If the seva is getting hampered, that's a different thing. But we should not try to be judgmental. We also judge. We try to judge devotees based on their previous background, or without clarification we conclude something. Sometimes we don't clarify and we conclude certain things. So that is also very, very offensive. Yeah. So this is the second category we are discussing. One is hanti, that is killing. Another is nindanti, finding faults, and we discuss so many things how we can find fault. Vai dveshti, envying a Vaishnava. Anyone remembers who became envious of a Vaishnava? Yeah, anyone remembers who became envious of a Vaishnava?
Daksha, Prabhuji.
Daksha became envious of Lord Shiva, yes. Or Duryodhan became envious of Yudhishthir Maharaj. And else, who else?
Durvasa Muni, Prabhu.
Durvasa Muni was not envious. Durvasa Muni was angry. Another example is Krudhyate. Durvasa was angry at Ambaris. Anyone who became envious? Indra becoming envious of Prithu Maharaj. The classic example. I mean, I don't know whether you know this story. It will come ahead in the 4th canto. We will go ahead. In 4th canto, there will be an Anga Maharaj. Anga Maharaj's son will be Bena. Bena's son will be Pruthu. And Pruthu will be the king of the world. And Indra will become envious of Pruthu. So that will come in the 4th canto. As we are reading ahead, so this story of Indra and Pruthu will come. So he became very, very envious. Similarly, Ramchandra Khan, he was envious of Haridas Thakur. So Haridas Thakur was preaching in Bangladesh, and he was becoming very famous. Actually, when you preach and you do good to others, you become famous. People love you, people appreciate you. And those who are envious, they'll think, "Arey, why people are appreciating him? Why not they are appreciating me?" So then people become envious. So Ramchandra Khan was the local Jamindar or whatever it is, and he saw this Haridas Thakur's ratings are increasing. So he became very envious. So much envious that Ramchandra Khan sent a prostitute to defame Haridas Thakur, and the prostitute became a devotee. And then Haridas Thakur left. Right? Just imagine the power of great souls. And then Ramchandra Khan actually, his entire village, his entire family, everyone was burnt and killed by some disease or something, and the entire village was deserted because of offense to Haridas Thakur. That was the, yes, Santanu Prabhu will tell something.
So one question is,
Yeah.
bro, if somebody is envious of Vaishnava internally, but he does not do anything, okay, मतलब physically तो वो भी offense होता है.
Yeah, so actually mental offenses are not that much counted in Kali Yuga. That if someone is offending mentally, but you will see that mentally, if it is there, it will come out sometime verbally or physically, sometime in some way. It will come out. So we have to restrict things from the mental level only. Otherwise it will come out. आ ही जाएगा. And then you will land up into problem. Once it comes out, finished. You have committed an offense. Which will be counted. Actually, mental offenses in previous yugas also are counted. But in Kali Yuga, concession is given for mental offenses. But if you are not restricting or, again trying to come to the sane platform, you are surely going to land up into terrible problem. We should never get into all these dangers. Actually, everything starts from mind only, na? So one should be very, very careful. If one is feeling envious of someone else, immediately one should go to someone of his appreciators. Imagine A devotee is feeling envious of B devotee. So immediately A devotee should go to X devotee who loves B devotee and tell X devotee that can you tell some good qualities of B devotee, and immediately one should hear those good qualities so that envy goes down. Or one should immediately confide to one's spiritual authorities that I am feeling envious, I don't know what to do about this devotee, and so that your envy goes down. Actually, it's very, very dangerous to keep mental envy about any devotee. Very, very dangerous. We have to remove it from the system. We have to work towards removing for the system by appreciating Vaishnavas, because once it is there internally, it will manifest externally. That's what's here. Yeah? It's clear? Yes. Udit Prabhu.
Prabhuji, there was one example about Shiva's Thakur. So his neighbor, he has put in a lot of...
Nice example. So Srivas Thakur had a neighbor, Gopal Chappala. So this Gopal Chappala, he was thinking that I am a big Brahmana. Why Srivas Thakur and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are not allowing me to attend kirtans? And then he used to, Srivas Thakur, what he will do in his anger? Lord Chaitanya had strict restriction. Who can attend his kirtan in the night? So he used to tell no. And this Gopal Chappal thought that I will try to tell to others what they are doing. They are calling women from the city and they are dancing with the woman and drinking wine and eating meat. So he put all these items in front of Srivas's home, and called lot of people, and he showed that just see, this is what Srivas is doing. So Srivas came out of the home and said to the people, yes, 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 not just this, I am doing much more thing. I am doing much more things. So I am actually like this, this is how I am, and all these things Srivas Thakur said. Immediately after 3 days, Gopal Chappal gets leprosy. So much so that he has to be thrown out of the village. And he is roaming around, not doing anything and crying for so many years. He was crying, and then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once met Gopal Chappal. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again cursed Gopal Chappal. I curse you that for millions of lifetimes you will suffer like this. And then Gopal Chappal actually surrendered to Srivas Thakur. And then Gopal Chappal, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Jagannath Puri again comes back to Mayapur, so Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu favors Gopal Chappal, Srivas Thakur, he begs forgiveness, then his leprosy goes away, and then he asks that, oh Lord, I have drank this poison of finding faults with Vaishnavas, what I should do? So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructs that you write songs about glories of all other Vaishnavas, and initiates him as Devaki Nandan Das. So Devaki Nandan Das Prabhu ki jai. So this Gopal Chappal becomes like that, and he writes so many songs on the glories of different Vaishnavas as instructed by Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya says this finding faults or envying a Vaishnava is like poison, and you have drunk this poison. The only remedy is to drink nectar now, to appreciate Vaishnavas. So that's what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says to Gopal Chappal. So that's a nice example. Yeah. So Hanti, Nindanti, Vaidveshti. So becoming envious. Actually, people have become envious about their gurus only. This envy is such a horrible thing. People become envious of guru, people become envious of their superiors, and then they'll land up into so much of spiritual problems because of that. So that is Hanti, matlab killing, Nindanti, finding faults, Vaidveshti, becoming envious, and then what else? Fourth one is, see, remember, Nabhinandanti, not offering obeisances. Anyone who landed into problem by not offering obeisances, very classic example. 2 classic examples we have already discussed.
Indra
and Brihaspati. And we see all things Indra has to go through because of offending, not standing up and offering obeisances to Brihaspati. And next, anyone? Roma Harshana Sutta. Who said Rome? I think Bhavan Krishna Prabhu. Rome Harshana Sutta, not offering obeisance to Balramji. That's another very good example. Yes, anyone else was giving example? Okay, okay. So I also have written these 2 examples only. I don't remember anything else, not offering obeisances. So this is also another offense. We should offer obeisances. And Rupa...
Brahmaji and the Bhrigu.
Yeah, but that is just a pastime. That is not just true. That is just a Bhrigu, Brahma that we discussed in Ekadasi. That's just a pastime. That is not a... just to showcase how glorious is Lord Vishnu, right? So like that. So yeah, we should always offer obeisances. And Rupa Goswami has said that there are 3 categories of devotees. We should, for those who have not taken initiation, we should offer obeisances in our mind, right? And those who have taken initiation or become very serious devotees, following the principles, chanting and following the 4, we should put dandavat to them. Not that, oh Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, we should really put dandavat to them. So, and those who have really become very, very serious, those who are like our Guru Vargas, we should very sincerely at heart pay obeisances, trying to take their association and all, and not just have a formality. In this way, Anya Nindadi Sunyam Ipsital Sangalabdhan. Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami says this. So, offering obeisance is a very, very important thing. Srila Prabhupada, when Sruta Kirti Prabhu, you know Sruta Kirti Prabhu? How many of you know him? Okay, Sruta Kirti Prabhu, I think only Kushal Bihari Prabhu. Sruta Kirti Prabhu is Srila Prabhupada's disciple, and he was for a long time Srila Prabhupada's secretary. And so he used to tell that how actually it is very nice to be so close to spiritual master, but it is very dangerous. Because you may offend, you may find faults, or you may see the material things, material side, and try to find faults. So like, so nice now with Srila Prabhupada, but it's like it is like hot honey. If you are not careful, it will burn your tongue. Yes, you remember? If you imagine you are given hot honey, so you have to be very careful to drink it, otherwise it will burn your tongue. It is very nourishing, but you have to be very careful. So dealing very closely with spiritual master is we have to be very, very careful. So Sruta Kirti Prabhu writes that when I was appointed secretary, I was very, very fearful. What I am going to do, I may commit offense. And sometimes when prasadam is not ready or letters are not sent in time, Prabhupada used to become so angry. And Prabhupada would ring one bell. Prabhupada had one bell on his table. Like that, he will trang, and immediately you have to come. And if you don't come immediately, Prabhupada will become so angry. And one time Sruta Kirti Prabhu was got busy in some place, and Prabhupada ringing, and third time ringing, and he was not coming. And when Sruta Kirti Prabhu entered the room, Prabhupada was so angry. And then read like, why you are not coming, And then, so Sruta Kirti Prabhu writes that being so close to spiritual master is actually a great benediction, but it can be a great danger to one's spiritual life. So he used to tell that every time I would enter the room, I will pay obeisances. Every time I will come out of the room, I will again pay obeisances. And like that, he would do it in an hour, maybe 5-6 times. And then 8 hours or 10 hours of service in the daytime. So you can imagine how many, practically 100, 150, 200 times he would pay obeisances to Srila Prabhupada. And he used to say, by that actually I could maintain that reverential mood and not become close on a very frivolous way with the spiritual master and land up into very, very spiritual difficulties. So one should never go frivolous with spiritual master. One should have a very, very reverential mood. Otherwise, land up into big problem. Like I have seen, whenever my superiors call, even if they call in phone, I put Dandavat. I am in phone, but I put Dandavat physically. Not that, yes, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Like imagine Radheshyam Prabhu calls, I put Dandavat. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, and I put Dandavat. And that is required. One time actually Radheshyam Prabhu was trying to call Acharya Ratna Prabhu, and he was busy in some class, he was not picking up, and then he called me. I am stuck in the airport. Acharya Ratna Prabhu was supposed to come to receive me. And immediately he called me, and I immediately put Dandavat inside the phone only. I am holding phone, but putting Dandavat physically. So one should understand, one has to give very due respect to spiritual master, and what to speak of Radhanath Maharaj and other spiritual Prabhupada disciples. One should be very, very careful, ultra careful. ultra careful. If it is required to put 10 times Dandavat Baba, you put 10 times Dandavat and maintain the reverential mood. Otherwise, very dangerous, very dangerous. And what happens is dealing closely, rendering service with the spiritual master, like Gauranga Prabhu, he renders so close service to Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Because when you render service, you become very close, and you see the apparent material things also. Oh, he becomes angry, he becomes upset. How can a pure devotee become upset? Like that, you will start finding faults. And it is the beginning of fall down on spiritual life. Why can't a pure devotee become angry? If you don't do your service nicely, you will not become angry. You will do all your archan or what? Huh? So Gauranga Prabhu used to tell, my goodness, I am so careful, so careful. One time, I'll tell you this story. Gauranga Prabhu says that one time Maharaj, actually Chowpatty, ISKCON Chowpatty is the first temple to have air conditioning systems, AC systems. And Maharaj actually wanted that we should have AC so that people are very, they're not sweating and doing like this and all those things, and they're peacefully sitting and here doing Krishna Katha. So he said that I'm going west, you put the ACs and when I'll come back, we will have like that. So Gauranga Prabhu was manager, and then he put the ACs and everything and all. But somehow what happened is the ACs were ceiling hanging ACs. You have seen? You know? So they were hanging so much that they were actually, the height of the temple hall got reduced. And so much Lakshmi was spent to put those ACs. And then Maharaj came. Maharaj said, these ACs are useless. Remove those ACs. Maharaj, remove? What? Can you tell? Again. These ACs are like looking like Aghasur trying to eat away the devotees. Who told you to put AC so down? They have to be up. Otherwise, you put somewhere else. Maharaj, we have spent lakhs. Actually, he was not able to speak only. So in such situation, natural thing what will happen is find faults. कि अरे देखो इसको कुछ पता नहीं है, कितना टाइम पैसा वेस्ट कर दिया, वो कर दिया. And after changing the height of the ACs and then spending some more money and changing the ceiling and all those things, all devotees appreciated. हाँ, actually सही में पता ही नहीं चल रहा था, कैसे कैसे लग रहा था. So all devotees appreciated. But this is how it is the danger. Just a simple example I gave about these ACs. One can be very, because we don't understand on what perspective and plane the superiors are telling us things. Sometimes we may be in our very lower plane of consciousness, and our superiors may be very in higher plane, and they are thinking in a different plane, and we are in a very lower plane, and we are seeing in a very, very lower level of our consciousness, and they may instruct us certain things which may not be digestible for us, palatable for us, based on our perspective of vision. But if you find faults, very, very dangerous. We should understand a spiritual master is representative of Krishna, and he is speaking, talking Krishna in my life. If that respect one has, then one will not commit offense. Otherwise, it's very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. People have become envious, found faults in the spiritual superiors only, and they have left Krishna consciousness. Hundreds of examples like that. So one should be very, very careful in dealing and never become frivolous. Never become frivolous. And so Srutakirti Prabhu, I will come back to the example which I was giving, is to tell again and again, because we were discussing about Nabhinandanti, correct? Offering obeisances. Again, he used to tell, because I am going so close to Srila Prabhupada, I may offend him, I may see apparent material side and offend him. So he used to again and again put Dandavat. He will get a chapati from the cooked devotee. He will take the chapati Prabhupada will take hot chapati. He will be holding the chapati, putting dandavat, giving the chapati, again putting dandavat, going out of the room to bring another chapati. Then getting another chapati, holding it, putting dandavat, putting chapati, coming back, putting dandavat and going. Can you imagine? Now one may say it was fanaticism, pagalpan hai ye, right? And you see, you hear from Shruti Kirti Prabhu glories of Srila Prabhupada and you see his advancement just by offering obeisances and doing service and glorifying how transcendently situated he became, right? So many people, Prabhupada disciples were there and they left after Srila Prabhupada left, they also left bhakti, but he is surviving and he is practicing and appreciating and practicing so nicely. Why? Because of his respect, right? So, so never think that, putting obeisances is fanaticism or, if you think like that, then we'll end up into problem. अरे इतना क्यों respect करना है spiritual master को? मत करो ना. Then who will be the loser? Spiritual master. You will be only loser, right? Like for sannyasis, gurus, whenever we meet, we put obeisances. Imagine Radhanath Maharaj has come or Jayapada Maharaj has come, or in temple some other Maharajas have come. We went to temple hall and saw him, we'll put dandavat. Again come back to room and then do something, and again they went and again came back for class, we put dandavat. Whenever we see, we put dandavat. So that is the thing. Whenever we see, we put dandavat. That is the rule for sannyasis and guru vargas. Whenever we see, we put dandavat. And that if you follow and be very, very respectful, then we will see a strong advancement in our life. Our words will become, our life will become very realized, our words will become very realized. We'll get all direction from Krishna from within. We'll be able to see Krishna's hand in our life. All these good things will happen if one nandanti, respects devotees and especially superior devotees, superior Vaishnavas. And if one doesn't do it, nabi nandanti, then all problems will come. So all these people whom I named, they have all become glorious because of service and respect to Vaishnavas and all. Yeah, so this is nabhinandanti. What else is there? I think krudhyate. Krudhyate means becoming angry. So Ambarish Maharaj, as someone was telling, so Durvasa Muni became angry on Ambarish Maharaj, and then what not he has to go through. I think one time Ekadasi we had taken this story, right? Ambarish Maharaj's problem, Durvasa's problem, offending Ambarish, and how Sudarshan Chakra was going behind Durvasa Muni to kill him because he became angry. Sringi also became angry on Parikshit. So these are examples. And then last one that is mentioned here in this verse is, you see, what? Yati no harsham, not smiling. This is so, na? Imagine some devotee comes and you are not happy. Can anyone give example? This example only. What? This, can anyone give example? Someone was not happy and then all problems happened. Right now only we are studying the same story. Daksha
and Lord Shiva.
Daksha and not Shiva, Daksha and Sati.
Oh.
So when Sati came, Daksha was not happy. And that is an offense. So it's not that you see a Vaishnava. So you have to be very happy. Oh, I am seeing a Vaishnava. You have to be very, very happy. I am getting a call from a Vaishnava. I am getting, Arey, why this devotee is calling me? Why this devotee is coming to my room? One should be very, very happy and respectable, hospitable to Vaishnavas. So that is very important. Yeah. So these are the 6 ways we can commit offenses. Actually, I had thought of speaking about how to avoid offenses. So maybe next class we will speak about how to avoid offenses. Today we spoke about elaborately about offenses and how we can do offenses. So next week we have to speak about how we can avoid offenses. But all of you, please be very, very careful of Vaishnava-Aparadha. This is the only danger in spiritual life. Once we start following the 4 regulative principles, chanting 16 rounds, and then we start practicing. Now the only danger is this Vaishnava-Aparadha. Don't find offenses, don't find faults. Always be very respectful to all the superiors and take always guidance from the superiors. Never take independent decision in your life. Never criticize the superiors. Never criticize the superiors. Understand superiors have been given by Krishna to us for our benefit only. And by this, if you do that, you will find yourself definitely at the end of life in spiritual world. So, but don't screw up with your spiritual life, right? I have already seen so many people screwing up, like one of my person who is my superior, I used to tell him, don't associate with that devotee, he finds so much of faults, and don't find faults, don't criticize. And he used to always criticize, and where is he now? He has screwed up his life like anything. Similarly, in last 18-19 years of my life in ISKCON, I have seen people who have screwed up their spiritual life because of finding faults, criticizing superiors. So never do that. Never criticize superiors. They are for your benefit only. Sometimes they may speak which is digestible to your mind. Sometimes they may speak which is not digestible to your mind. But not criticize them, find faults. They are your well-wishers. So if, yes, someone is exploiting us, then it's a different thing. I don't think in ISKCON we have like that, someone who is exploiting us and everything. We should always remain safe. So my all best wishes to all of you. Please remain safe in your spiritual life. Never commit Vaishnava-Aparadha. Never commit Vaishnava-Aparadha. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yes. Anyone has any question? Otherwise, we'll end. Yeah. Udit Prabhu. Yeah, Sit Prabhu, then Udit Prabhu, then Selja Mataji. Yeah.
If after I'm getting so many lessons from our Guru, then why starting the funny attitude with me? Previously I was wrong. Previously I was not in good association. But presently I was in good association. People and good lessons. Our Guru is always saying, do this, do this. After knowing these things, why this type of things is coming to our mind?
Yeah. So Asit Prabhu is asking a very nice question. That why even after knowing all these things, still I am having all this fault-finding attitude. Because it may be that we have this attitude from previously from coming to Krishna consciousness. Just like a fan. Imagine my fan is there and the fan is switched on, the fan is moving and switched off. So once you switch off the fan will still move, right? It will take some time for the fan to stop. So we have to also see that if we have a fault finding nature, it will take some time for us to completely stop it. So, and then we need to also get specific guidance. Like now you are asking a generic question because a generic audience, general people. Now you have to take specific guidance from a superior about the specific problem you have. Like sometimes we have specific fault finding nature. So then that specific thing has to be also solved. So the generic wise, one has to know that it will take some time, and specific guidance where we find faults, which situations we tend to become find faults. Those situations we have to analyze and take more further guidance, specific guidance, and try to get rid of it from our system. Okay. Okay, there are many things that can be done, which we will discuss next week elaborately. How to avoid offense and what to do if we have offended. So these are the two things we can discuss next week. Okay. Yeah. Now Udit Prabhu, and then Selja Mataji, then Chandan Prabhu, then Poonam Mataji. Yeah.
Prabhuji, just a basic question. Now initially when we come to bhakti, we try to follow 4 regulative principles and chant 16 rounds. Now we have come to that level that we are following these principles and chanting 16 rounds. Now the further advancement in bhakti, is it depend on only service, not fault finding or having knowledge? What else goes towards further advancement in bhakti? So just a generic question, Prabhu.
The further advancement in bhakti is just one thing. All of you can write down. You are able to understand Udit Prabhu's question. What is further advancement? Everything I know. I know that Krishna is supreme. I know the goal of life is Vrindavan Dham. I know devotees I have to love and respect. What else? So for the advancement in Krishna consciousness is proportional to our attentiveness and absorption in chanting holy name of the Lord. Suddha Naam. The goal of our life is attain Suddha Naam. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra will not change, but our relationship with Hare Krishna Mahamantra is going to change. And that is what is advancement. And we should also try to parameterize our advancement based on our chanting, nothing else. Not that I did so much, I am able to give so much of classes, now there are so many people following me, taking guidance from me. These are all theek. We are doing this as a service. But our advancement is based on our quality of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Suddha Naam. So the goal of our life is Suddha Naam, to attain Name Ruchi. Right? So, how do we judge what further, what advancement, and why we are discussing so elaborately about offenses? Because the first offense to holy name is, anyone can tell, first offense to holy name?
To blaspheme the devotees.
To blaspheme those who have dedicated their lives in propagating the holy names of the Lord. Right? So, to blaspheme devotees is the first offense to holy name. We are discussing so elaborately. One may think, why Prabhuji so much elaboration on offenses we are discussing? Because that is the first offense to holy name. And if you continue offending devotees, will not be able to relish chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, we have to come to a point of relishing Hare Krishna Mahamantra attentively, with absorption. That is our sign of advancement. And so long we are not done it, we should understand I am not advanced, I am not advancing. So what I should do, one should always be, thoughts should haunt a person that why my chanting is not good, why my chanting is not good, why my chanting is not becoming good, what I should do to make my chanting good. That should haunt a person. So if that haunts a person, then he has come to Namabhas stage. Namabhas stage means repentful chanting. One is Nama-Aparadha stage. Nama-Aparadha stage means offensive chanting. Namabhas means repentful chanting. So repentful chanting means, oh Krishna, I didn't chant today properly, oh Krishna. Every day we should cry, and I didn't chant properly, why did I chant not properly? So this is repentful chanting stage. Repenting, why I could not chant, when I will chant nicely. Kali Yuga, Yuga Dharma is chanting, all scriptures are telling about chanting nicely. I am not able to chant. My Guru, I have given vow that I should chant 16 rounds attentively. I am not able to chant. Oh Krishna, oh Gurudev, oh Haridas Thakur, oh Panchatattva, oh Gauranga, oh Nityananda, please help me. So this is the type of advancement. Advancement means this. And if once we find great attachment, absorption, attention to the holy name, all other things will automatically manifest. Our desire to serve Vaishnavas will manifest. Our desire to offer obeisances to Vaishnavas everything will manifest. So this is something we have to work upon. Yeah? Does make sense? And that is why we are elaborately discussing on offenses. Why we are elaborately discussing, if you continue offensive mentality, you will not be able to chant with delight. Right? Okay? Yeah. our Selja Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanitya. Prabhuji, in continuation to this question only, just Krishna Bhakti, if we chant nicely, then fault finding will get slow down, or when fault finding will slow down and then only we can chant nicely.
Both are connected to each other. If we try to chant attentively as much as possible, then our mind will become more peaceful, purified. So our fault finding nature will go down. And if we attempt to reduce fault finding nature, our chanting will become nice. Both are cyclic. They enhance each other.
My question is like, the one you told that you will be discussing later on, because पहले हमने बहुत सारा ऑफेंस ऑलरेडी हमने किया है, तो उसका क्या, हमने बहुत अपराध कर लिया.
So no problem, बहुत अपराध we have done. We can right now stop doing aparadhs. That will be a great achievement. Don't worry about past. I worry about present and future. Future, because we should be more worried about future. Because as future comes, we are going to become more serious devotees. And more serious devotees will become more, we will think, oh, that I see I have become a great soul. And more we will try to find faults in others. Arey, this person is not that serious. Or we may become we start finding faults with the guru only. Arey, now I have become serious. Why I have to hear such a person? I don't know. I have. So that is actually future and present you worry. Don't worry about past so much. What has happened has happened.
One more question is like, when like husband is also a devotee, he also started chanting, and then we have lot of like हमारा बहुत सारा fault finding, तो husband wife नहीं हो जाता है, वहाँ तो मुश्किल है बचना fault finding.
So if a husband is devotee and wife is finding faults, which is natural disposition of the wife to find faults in husband, so then what to do? How we should avoid finding faults and all. One should that is why offer obeisances to husband, offer obeisances to wife. One should not think, oh, I am a husband, my wife is younger to me and she is my wife, how I should offer obeisances. We should offer each other obeisances. At least once in a day we should start offering obeisances each other and have a respectful attitude. So then we will be able to respect each other as Vaishnava and Vaishnavis, right? And this is one thing. Second thing, sometimes conflicts and quarrels between husband and wife may not be out of envy. So offenses are because out of envy. Sometimes quarrels, and this is just because the nature of the world is, one has a particular way of doing things, another has a particular way of doing things. So that's why there is quarrel. So we are talking about offenses out of envy. When envy is there and we find faults and then it is, but generally in husband and wife, I don't think a husband is envious of wife or wife is envious of husband. But the fault finding comes because of the way the husband does. The the ladies are more emotional, so they have an emotional approach towards life. And the men are naturally rational, so they have a rational approach towards life. Imagine the son is crying. The lady will sing, "Arey de do na usko, give him 100 rupees. He is wanting 100 rupees and he wants to get a chocolate. Santi hona chahiye, de do na." And the the husband will say, today he is asking 100 rupees, he is making a jid out of it, farce out of it. Tomorrow he will ask 1000 rupees, will you give him? Then you go and earn. I am not going to give him. So the ladies have an emotional approach towards life and men have a rational approach towards life. And that's why there is no envy. It's just an approach towards, and both approach may be correct and both approach may be wrong at a situation. So someone has to pick up some approach. And sometimes the husband way happens, sometimes the wife way happens. The wife knows sometimes, okay, 10 out of 10, 5 times wife's way should happen, 5 times husband ways to happen. May not be it's the best way. So the conflicts among husband and wife at least should be, I don't know about all of you, whether you are feeling envious about your husband or wife, I don't know that. But these are all because of the approach towards doing things in a particular way. And this will keep on happening because the ladies are born in Venus and men are born in Mars. So they are like they are because I'm writing book on marriage, so their psychology is only different. So it's going to be happening. So one should understand, when men and women are fighting, they are not fighting for envy, especially husband and wife. Men and women can fight out of envy also, but husband and wife, when they fight because of their psychological differences, and because they are not educated. That is why in prior to Gurukul education, the men were given education on psychology of women, women were given education on psychology of men. Now that is not given. What is given? Physics padho, chemistry padho, and paisa kaise kamana padho. And then when they get married, then they then they have an experiential learning. So the man learns through experience. Oh, this is a lady. The lady was looking so nice from distance, but this is a lady. Oh, now I understood, Baba. Because he has no education. He is only learning through experience, and experience is very, very horrible teacher. Right? So education is not there nowadays about a man knowing about a lady, how a lady thinks, how a lady works, how a lady will react. Right? So given a situation, after spending 10 years, the husband clearly knows how my wife is going to react. Correct? You put a situation, she is going to react. And the wife clearly knows how the husband. So why to go through 10 years of horrible experience? So that's why in Vedic system, the man used to be given good education about woman used to be given good education of man, psychology. So the conflicts in married life is out of psychological differences which can never be avoided. You write down, there will be no marriage where there will be no conflicts, because the marriage means conflicts. And those conflicts which are arising out of psychological differences should be tolerated. If the conflicts are arising out of envy between husband and wife, out of malice, the wife is thinking, I will kill my husband and get all the property. Husband is thinking, I'll kill my wife and get all the property. Sab kuch uske naam pe ho gaya, and I will get someone else in my home, another lady. And the wife is thinking, this man, is earning so less, I will kill him and I'll get another person. These are all quarrels which are dangerous. These are out of envy and all this. But psychological quarrels can never be avoided. You may spend 50 years in Grihastha ashram, you will have to handle psychological differences. That is one chapter of the book. Are all of you excited to read the book?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So you have to be tolerant about this. Marriage is a compromise. Marriage is also called a compromise because it's both the husband has to compromise his rationality and the wife has to compromise her emotionality. And that is why it's a compromise, and that's why sometimes we get irritated. Why every time I have to compromise, Baba? Why you cannot compromise and become little soft-hearted? The wife complains to husband. And husband says, why you can't be little thoughtful? Why I have to always be doing like this? So there is a conflict sometimes because the wife thinks, oh, every time I have to compromise. The husband thinks I have to compromise. And it's all problems are happening because education is not there. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Chandan Kumar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I was asking that we talked about the example of Vitrasul Maharaj killing Indra. And so we see that Vitrasul Maharaj had to go back to Godhead. He also wanted to be killed. And then Indra also need to get the kingdom, and then Devtas only, like Vishnu only told that go to the Daksha and get this Vajra and kill him. So So it's still like, I'm not saying that he should not get so we see that sometime unavoidable situation comes in life where Vaishnava Aparadha has to happen in due course of action. Like still he has to suffer.
Tell another example other than this where it is unavoidable to do Vaishnava Aparadha. Tell me.
Also it is there in with Akrura.
No. Tell another example, practical example. Like imagine, tell an example, practical example where it is unavoidable to do Vaishnava Aparadha. I want to know. I don't think it's such.
That they got this responsibility to guard the door, and so they committed offense by stopping, but it was their duty, service given to them.
Yeah.
So it was became a kind of unavoidable for them.
Okay, so this is a practical example that kitchen, in front of the kitchen door, there is a person who is taking coupon or asking if you have coupon, then you can enter for prasadam, and if you do not have coupon, stay. So go back and wait. Those who have coupon, they will get first, and those who don't have coupon, they'll. Prasadam is the hak and right of everyone. How can you reject me from taking prasadam? I have come to temple and all those things. So this is an unavoidable offense. This is a practical situation that we have seen. So what we should do? So what Indra should have done? Indra actually himself wanted to do all these things. That's why he landed into problem. Indra's example is not unavoidable. He should have checked with Brahma. He should have checked with Vishnu that I am fearful of killing Vritrasura. Instead of checking with them, he actually was encouraged by the different demigods that kill him, and he killed him. He didn't go back to his superiors. Demigods are telling kill him, but I am seeing he's a great devotee. What I should do? He should have go to Vishnu, and imagine Vishnu would have told him to kill, then he would not have got reaction. But he didn't do that. So that is mentioned by our acharyas. So that is, we should always take, whenever there is confusion, we should take guidance from the superiors, first thing. And now this example of unavoidable offense, standing in front of the gate and everything. So immediately that person should fold hands and tell that you contact my superior. He has told me to do like this. If he says, I will allow. Finished. Right? How it is? Simple case, ho gaya. You contact Srinitaya Das, and Srinitaya Das says entry. So what Srinitaya Das should say? So Srinitaya Das will bring him, and because he is angry, he has no coupon, he doesn't want. So Srinitaya Das should give his prasadam. Okay, Prabhuji, you take my prasad, because there is some rules and regulations other. So you take my prasad and share my prasad with him and make him peaceful. Send him off. Right? So we should be ready to share our plate of prasadam. Okay, he's hungry. Imagine I take little half prasad one day or no prasad one day, and the Vaishnava is happy. Let him take prasad, be happy. So many times I have remained hungry and fasted for my material things, correct? Sometimes we have to go do job and everything, go to a far off place. We remain fasting, correct? For giving exam, we remain fasting. So today I will fast for serving this Vaishnava. Okay, let him. So that's nice consciousness. Okay. And if there is confusion about how to avoid offense in this situation, we should immediately consult our superiors. Okay.
Also, it is mentioned about during Samantaka Jewel how Akrura reacted. That was not acceptable. Then it is written that because he offended
the gopis
in Vrindavan, like offended means he gave pain to them. So that is why he did this kind of mistake there. So this also comes under unavoidable situation.
Yeah, so it was not unavoidable. Imagine Akrura was telling like this, and Akrura saw that the gopis are crying and all those things. Imagine immediately Akrura should have got down from the chariot and paid obeisances to the gopis. That he didn't do that. Akrura was hard-hearted, Akrura, because he was not getting down only. He should have got down. Actually, gopis had to beat him up. Some gopis are beating him up, beating the chariot, beating the horses. But he should have got down and paid Dandavat. My goodness, how much love they have for Krishna. I have no love for Krishna. Oh Krishna, just like Uddhava, when he saw love of gopis, what he did? He prayed to become grass so that he can get dust of the gopis' feet. So Akrura didn't do that, and that was an offense. Nabhinandanti. So he didn't pay obeisance. He should have immediately paid obeisances to the gopis and said, okay Krishna, now you tell me what I should do. If I go without you, Kamsa will kill me. If I take you, gopis will kill me. You tell me, Krishna, what? He could have done, na? He didn't do that. That was his mistake. Rather, he was not getting down from the chariot only. And the gopis were trying to stop the chariot, and that's why he became hard-hearted. Right? So that's what I am telling. Who was Akrura's superior at that position? Tell me. Krishna Balram. Balram is Jagat Guru. And he knows Balram is Jagat Guru. Correct? Why didn't he do that? He never consulted Balramji. That was his problem. Okay? Yeah. Yes. Poonam Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Dandabat. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, sorry, I didn't give you chapatis like the way I should have.
Oh, sorry, I didn't. I have stopped taking chapatis, that's why. Now I'm taking rice. I have got maybe.
So that I can serve you chapati.
I have got gluten intolerance because of that. Yeah, nice way to look at
Prabhuji,
it.
I have this question. Like, suppose I observed, you were telling about so many examples how when the Guru, you deal with the Guru when you're so close to them. So I was also looking like Devamrit Maharaj and one husband and wife, they are serving him. Wherever he goes, they also go there. And they have this willingness to serve their Guru. But for that, they have to be close to the Guru. So that we can have some spiritual desires for our own upliftment, of course. So how to deal with that? Or you have some plans like you want to do something big for the movement and you have to closely associate with your, of course, in the presence of your husbands. Then how to deal with that?
How to deal with that? Matlab, what is the question?
Means like without doing aparadha.
Oh, how to avoid aparadha if we have to deal with Guru and everything. Always never conclude without clarifying. This is the sutra we can always write. Never conclude without clarifying. This is the sutra. Okay, all those things are there, paying obeisances and all those things to have a respectful but never conclude in your mind without clarifying. Imagine Guru says something. Never conclude without clarifying. Imagine you are able to understand it, very nice. If you are not able to understand, better clarify. If you are after clarification not able to understand, clarify again. Clarify 10 times, but don't come to conclusion without clarifying. This is the sutra of dealing with superior and not offending them. Don't conclude without clarifying. You clarify, you 10 times clarify, no problem. And whenever you clarify with humility, clarify nicely. Like Arjuna, Krishna is his superior and he is so closely dealing with Krishna. And Krishna is telling, oh Arjuna, you know, this Bhagavad Gita knowledge I gave to Sun God also. Actually, I started giving Bhagavad Gita classes first to Sun God. Arjuna is telling, Baba, Sun God ko first class aapne diya. Huh? You were not born only when Sun was born, and you are telling you gave the first seminar, Bhagavad Gita seminar to the Sun God. I am just not able to believe it. But Arjuna didn't conclude that, oh Krishna, you are phek raha hai tum. So he clarified. So sometimes we may be able to understand Guru's intentions, why Guru is telling us some things, why Guru is acting like this, behaving like this, and sometimes we will not be able to understand. So whether we are able to understand or not understand, we should immediately clarify, never conclude, and then we are always will be safe. Is this clear? This is the sutra for not becoming offensive, is that always clarify. If before concluding, clarify. Okay, the Guru said you something and you clarify. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Yes, Sanjukta Mataji. Dandavad.
My question is already answered. Shailaja Mataji has already asked the question. But Rosie, is there any way to remember, is there any way during conflict we can remember, yeah, my husband is a devotee. I should not say like this.
So is there any way to remember whether in a conflict my husband is a devotee and that? How to remember? You see his tilak, you tell husband to always put tilak maybe. So that then by seeing the tilak, but sometimes you tilak is not visible. When we are angry with the husband, you don't look at the tilak of the husband. You look like pouncing on his face and and speaking harsh words and like that. Yeah, is there any way? That is why we should, husband and wife, we should on a daily basis do some spiritual activity together. Some spiritual activity, whether we chanting, hearing, serving, reading, something we should do, spend some time. We have got 24 hours, at least 30 minutes or more. We can do some spiritual activity together. Read some books together, or chant together, discuss about Krishna together, some fine. And remaining 23.5 hours we can deal with ourselves, each other as husband and wife. But some time we should give for spending as husband and wife on a very spiritual level. That will help us to remember the remaining time in the day, that we are husband and wife, but we are spiritual husband and wife, right? So that is that one thing we can do as a practical thing. And that is also another thing which I said, is that the wife also should dress like a Vaishnavi and the husband also should dress like a Vaishnava in the home also. Then what happens? The wife remembers the husband and sees, oh, the Vaishnava, we have to be careful, I should not commit offenses, and put Dandavat. And the husband also should understand wife is a Vaishnavi, put tilak, chanting. If I do something, Hanti Sarvani Shreyamsi, my all Shreya will go away as husband if I deal as a materialistic husband with my spiritual wife. So I have to be very, very careful. So in this way, these are some of the ways we can deal. But we cannot avoid conflicts in married life. That is not possible. That is not because of us. That is because of the man-female, man-woman psychological differences, right? And a man will never want to get married actually. The man nature and masculine nature will never like to get married. It's the masculine nature and feminine nature who gets married. Nowadays all these things are there, men and men are getting married and woman. But if you see within these two fellows, though they are in, one will be a feminine nature person, then only they will be going together. Otherwise doesn't happen like that. So, and the nature of masculine nature and the feminine nature is, there is psychological difference. And though there are so much of psychological difference, there is intense, irresistible attraction also. And that's how Maya, sorry, there is difference. Imagine there is difference. They will remain aloof and not trouble each other. But then material energy creates man psychologically different, woman psychologically different, and creates an irresistible attraction between both of them. And then they cannot live and they cannot leave. So they cannot live, and they cannot LEA bhi. So it is designed for purification. Actually, if you study how material energy is designed for purifying us. So there is so much of difference. So once there is difference, what you will do? You stay separate, I will stay separate. But that is not going to happen. There is so much of irresistible attraction. So that attraction will create, imagine these two ball, imagine, I'll give an example. Imagine this and my soft ka dabba. Imagine they have difference. So if they have difference, then more they come closer, there will be friction, right? More they are apart, they will happy. But imagine there is irresistible attraction between them. So they will come and they'll and then they will go out. And then come and they'll go out. And come, they'll go out. Like that. And like this, they will get shapen up. That's how the arrangement is done by material energy, to shape up the husband, shape up the wife, and make them ready for spiritual world. Yeah? Now you should not ask the question ki Prabhuji, how you will get shapen up. All of you will shape me up. My disciples will shape me up. They'll make me trinadapi sunichena tarorabhi sahishnuna. Like I have been telling so much that keep video on during the class, but no one will keep it on. Then what I have to tell? Trinadapi sunichena taroriva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. You give class sadahari. You do all kirtan, whether they come, not come, switch off video, switch on video. Kirtaniya sadahari. So like that. So purification is inevitable.
जनरली कंफ्लिक्शन होने के बाद, मतलब सब कुछ ठंडा हो जाने के बाद जब लगता है कि सीनियर है शायद अपराध कर दिया, तो इसको भी थोड़ा सॉफ्टली लेना चाहिए क्या? कुछ नहीं सोचना चाहिए, होते रहेगा.
Yeah, so this we will discuss next class of how to handle if we have made an aparadh. Imagine we have done an aparadh, then what we should do? What is next thing we can do after we have done aparadh? Okay. Yes. So this is topic of next class. One should understand it's not aparadh. The husband and wife fighting is not aparadh, until unless it is born out of envy. It's not aparadh. It is. This fighting is happening from dawn of creation. So long you will be husband and wife, there will be marriage, there will be fights. It's not aparadh. But it can become aparadh, so we have to be careful. And how it will not, maybe next week I have to give a class on especially husband and wife. When is aparadh and how it can go to aparadh. But husband and wife fighting is not aparadh. So long there are certain things which we are not doing, we can discuss elaborately on next week on this. Like we should not imagine husband and wife fighting and the husband is telling, "Arey, tumhara baap aisa hai, tumhara behan aisa hai, tumhara ye aisa." This is aparadh, right? So the wife is saying, "Tum aisa hai, tumhara guru aisa hai, tumhara baap aisa hai, tumhara beti aisa hai, ye hai, wo hai, saab tumhara aisa hi hai." This is aparadh, right? But if the wife is telling, "आप मेरे साथ ऐसे क्यों किए, मेरे को बहुत खराब लगा, ये किया," so this is not aparadh. And the husband is telling, मेरे को तुमसे ऐसे उम्मीद नहीं थी, you will do like this, I was not expecting, you did like this. This is not aparadh. So like that. So there is way to even express our, even if we have to express our anger, there is a way, na. You are angry on your husband, na. Why you bring your father, mother? Sometimes you have seen when people bring anger, they will bring everyone. They will bring everyone, father, mother, sister, brother, the entire family will come. This is aparadh, right? You are angry on husband, only talk with the husband and what you are angry and how he disturbed you. Don't brand him as that. So like that. Okay. But you cannot avoid conflicts. You cannot avoid conflicts. This is natural. This is something natural for the marriage, grihasthashram. Okay. Jai Shri Radhe. Grihasthashram ki jai. Husband and wife fights ki jai. Yes. Dev Malya bro. Boliye.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you for this wonderful class. So Prabhuji, I don't have any question, but I just wanted to ask you something. Like, means I want something from you. Can you share that topic which you told in our class? Like, we should understand, men should understand the psychology of a woman, and the woman should understand the psychology of a man before going to the Grihasthashram. Because there are a lot of unmarried devotees are there. So better we will get that experience, that theoretical experience before entering.
Okay. So the unmarried devotees will get some experience of. So that's why I'm writing the book, and definitely we can take a class on that. So that will also help. Surely, we can have some class on psychology of men. But the problem is what? The problem is this, that why I'm writing a book, because what happens is in the psychology of men class, it should only be attended by women. The men cannot come, otherwise it will not work. And in the psychology of women class, only men should attend. So there is a participant limitation. So so it has to be only boys and only ladies class. Like that's why Gurukul education was not co-ed. Co-ed mein you cannot speak certain things which is required. For men, we cannot speak the psychology of women in front of the woman, and they may not. It may not be appropriate. Similarly, for women, we cannot speak the psychology of men in front of other men. So that is the problem in also modern education. Co-ed education is not proper actually. Co-ed education is the education doesn't happen because men, women, they think differently. So their education and the teachers also should happen differently. Spiritual education is different. You see, all the ladies are also understanding the class and understanding, but especially life skills training, and there are material skill training like physics, chemistry, mathematics, then there is no problem. Men and women together, they are studying mathematics, no problem. But life skills of how to see a situation in life and all those things, there is a requirement of segregating it. That's why we have ladies group separate, men group separate, where they can read and discuss and churn out. So so that is a problem. Now I can give class to the men, but how do I give class only to the ladies? You know what, it becomes little. So I'm writing a book, so you can read the book and understand for yourself. Okay. And why you will also not experience. So you will also, you experience it yourself. So that will be also, your friends have experienced without education. So you also experience without education. Otherwise they will feel envious about you. Are Prabhu. So even if I release the book, you don't read it to not make your friends envious. So and then so you also follow the same path of your friends. Like my friends didn't got educated, they got experienced. So I also will not get educated and enter. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Let enter. So in that way. When is the release date for the book? Mostly in November or December, like that. I have thought about what all things have to be put. It's all more of C's. There's so many C's I have. It's very easy to remember. The entire book I am planning that one can remember easily. So I have put all the books things. Only blueprint I have to write. I have also wrote the prologue also. So it's almost, I have started writing it. So mostly we are expecting like that. Okay. Does that answer your question. All the best.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. This is a mystery which is going to reveal to your life. And we have our prayers and best wishes that that mystery doesn't become a horror. Yes, okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpataru vaishya kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Dasosmi Parivar ki jai. ISKCON New Town ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna.